What is the first thing to be done after your spouse dies? Most people do not have a clear answer to this question, and when that moment comes, they encounter complex and unexpected responsibilities. The fact is that no matter how strong your relationship is or how long you have been together, the loss of your spouse changes everything. This loss will leave you in a deep, shivering void and only leave you with silence and uncertainty. Most of the time, when that moment comes, you do not know what to do. It is quite difficult to understand what is the most important thing to do in those moments when your brain is empty, your heart is tight, and your eyes are full. To overcome the first waves of your loss in this video, I am going to present a guide that will guide you to do what you need to do emotionally and practically. The purpose of this article is to talk about the 6 basic steps that guide you in those complex, difficult times. These steps are not just cold instructions or long-term advice. They are strategies to survive the life that real people find based on understanding the experience, empathy, and loss process. No one will restrain your pain, but maybe everything else in your loss will also restrain your pain. If you lose control of everything, it can give you a sense of balance. If your spouse dies, I hope this terrible day is very far away. But this video is important to learn what you need to do when that day comes. It may be much more valuable to understand what you need to do to stay alive mentally and emotionally, and to start living again, than to wait for that moment to come and go. Don't move without feeling. Don't let your spouse die. But now that doesn't mean anything. The times you shared together, the moments you chatted every morning were very valuable. But suddenly, everything disappears and you fall into a deep void. It is normal for you to feel your feelings in the coming days, rather than to want to move to the next step to put everything in order. As the days go by, you may want to do things such as opening the phones, organizing the funeral, and packing the things. But the truth is that the first thing you need to do is to allow your feelings and accept the pain. Many people want to find something to do to escape their pain. But don't forget, you can't get over anything without accepting your feelings first. This does not mean completely collapse. Focusing on your feelings, understanding them, and giving them space is the first step to your healing process. Whether you cry, whether you want to be alone, don't suppress yourself. Feeling truly is the first step to healing. During this process, don't set a complicated schedule or a correct way to keep the summer. Everyone's summer process is different. Sometimes crying, sometimes staying silent. Both are valid feelings. The important thing is to accept your feelings and not suppress them. Staying alone, looking for support. Social isolation can be a big danger right after a loss. At first, people give you a lot of support. Phones, messages, meals, flowers. But then the phones stop. Support from people decreases and the inner house becomes silent again. This silence can isolate you deeply, and it can be very difficult to deal with the emotional burden that you have lost. The pain of loss is always deep, but loneliness increases this pain even more. That's why it is very important not to be alone in the first moments. Even by reaching out to other people, making a simple phone call, sending a message, or meeting a friend, it is a powerful way to deal with loneliness. You don't have to tell anyone about your problems or explain exactly how you feel at that moment. But seeking support and not being alone is an important part of the healing process. Reaching out to others, not only emotionally, but also physically, will protect you against difficulties. Loneliness, depression, insomnia, obesity problems, and even forgetfulness can cause many other serious problems. So, no matter how difficult it is, don't hesitate to ask for help from people around you. Talking to your neighbors, relatives, or friends can ease the feeling of loneliness that your loss brings. One of the hardest sides of getting over your loss is to feel as if all this emotional burden is carrying you alone. But don't forget to ask for help or let others help you. Being able to let someone be with you at the moment can mean sharing this heavy burden and not having to bear it completely by yourself, which can feel comforting. The third important thing is scheduling. After your spouse has died, as the world goes on, you have to be responsible for many things. Funerals can be arranged, bank accounts might be frozen, insurance transactions are required. Life goes on right after the loss, and you may have to carry out all these transactions. You should find legal documents, insurance policies, bank account information, marriage certificate, death certificate, and other important papers. This can be a tiring, confusing process, often complex and emotional, but it is necessary. Collecting these documents is a way to honor the contributions of a period of your life and your spouse. There may be confusion in the document collection process, so it is quite useful to prepare a list and keep everything together in one place. Sometimes it may be difficult to collect the documents immediately, but remember that there are certain periods for insurance, Social Security, and electricity or utility transactions, and you should not miss these deadlines. If you find it difficult to do these yourself, ask for help from a trusted friend, family member, or financial advisor. That's so. Please subscribe our channel, like the video, and support us. We hope that you liked the video. Be careful about your body. If you do not get along with your body, you may experience a lot of stress and pain. That is a life-threatening moment for you. The emotional burden that grief brings threatens your physical health. At this time, it is essential to eat regularly, drink enough water, take your medication on time if you have any, and take simple but important steps such as sleeping properly. If you find it difficult to do these things, meeting a doctor and conducting simple health checks will be very beneficial for you. Your mental and physical health are deeply connected, and neglecting one can harm the other. Keeping a simple daily routine, even if it feels meaningless at first, can help your mind and body adjust to the new situation. Simple actions like getting out of bed, taking a shower, or going for a short walk can support your healing process. These habits may seem small, but they are powerful signals to your brain that life is continuing and you can survive this pain. Give yourself permission to heal at your own pace without pressure. Accept that there is no correct timetable for grief. Some days you may feel stronger, other days completely broken, and both are normal. Healing is not a straight path, but rather a wave that comes and goes. Let yourself feel each emotion without judging it. If needed, consider talking to a professional therapist or grief counselor. They can help you make sense of your feelings and teach you techniques to manage anxiety, panic, or overwhelming sadness. Getting support from a professional is not a sign of weakness, but of courage and self-care. When you feel like you cannot carry the weight alone, remember you do not have to. Sharing your pain with others, whether through a support group, a friend, or a professional, can ease the burden. Many people feel guilty for smiling or enjoying something after their spouse dies. But you should not punish yourself for moments of relief. These moments are part of the healing process, not a betrayal. Allowing small joys back into your life is a healthy and human reaction. You are allowed to live, even while you mourn. Try to be patient with yourself. Grief has no set ending, and no one can tell you exactly when you will feel normal again. The process will change you, but that does not mean you cannot build a meaningful life after your loss. Remember to breathe, take small steps, and stay connected with people who care about you. In time, you may find new ways to honor your spouse's memory and continue living with hope. Trust that healing is possible, even if right now it feels completely out of reach. Over time, you might discover that helping others who have faced similar losses can also help you heal. Sharing your experiences and listening to theirs can create a sense of solidarity and meaning. Many people find that supporting others gives them a new purpose and eases their own pain. Whether through volunteering, joining a grief support group, or simply being there for a friend in need, these acts of kindness can be deeply healing. You do not have to rush, but remember, you are not alone in your journey through grief.